welcome to the Nik Nak Podcast YouTube channel. This is going to be our Week 3 50-50 lineup picks for the Daily Fantasy. I think the best part about Daily Fantasy is if you have a year-long team and you lost a running back last week, this is your time to hit the reset button and pick anyone you want. And we're going to make our picks for 50-50, which of course means that you are trying to finish in the top half of the competition that you have entered. So you want to play a little bit safer lineup, get guys who have a high floor, definitely going to get you some points. So you can finish in that top half over some of these guys who people are kind of taking bigger risks on. So I went through some of the FanDuel prices and picked out some guys. If you watched last week's video, I paid Matt Forte, who had 3 touchdowns. Stephon Diggs, of course, went off on Monday night against the Packers and had a great game. Probably was a breakout start of the week. And Delaney Walker had 83 yards and a touchdown. He was my tight end pick last week. So if you're still with us this week or you're new, welcome. We're gonna do this every week. I'm gonna make this a little quicker this time. At quarterback, I love Phillip Rivers this week as one of the more expensive options. He's gonna be playing indoors in Indy. They're gonna be throwing a lot in that game. It should be a pretty high scoring game in Indianapolis. So I like Phillip Rivers to get some points this week. We got Ryan Tannehill going against the Cleveland Browns defense. He currently has the 4th most rushing yards at the quarterback position, which is something that you want in fantasy, and I think that it's a good matchup, and they're going to be throwing a lot because they can't run the ball. Arian Foster's going to be out this week. The cheap option is the rookie, Dak Prescott, against the Bears. Their defense got beaten up last week. They're on a short week going to Dallas for a primetime game Sunday night. So the team's going to be fired up. Dak's getting very comfortable in that offense. Trust me, I was at the Redskins game last week. I watched him. He is very comfortable. And he should definitely be able to put up a good amount of points for you if you want to go really cheap at the quarterback position. At running back, Melvin Gordon from the same Chargers-Colts game. Indianapolis is the worst team against running backs in fantasy right now, and I think that Melvin Gordon's going to have a huge day in his first game as the workhorse following the Danny Woodhead injury. Theo Riddick is also taking over the starting job in Detroit. They're going to be throwing a lot in that game because they're going to be at Green Bay, and they're going to be playing catch-up for most of the game, I believe, so Theo Riddick as a passing down back will definitely get a lot of touches. If you want to go for a really cheap option at running back, how about the wily veteran, Frank Gore? Look for him to find his way into the end zone against San Diego. I think that he definitely has a chance to score in that game. At wide receiver, this is going to be a complete gut play by me, but I think that Mike Evans is about to explode. And that matchup with LA at home is going to be very good for him. And even last week, against the Cardinals defense with Patrick Peterson on him, Jameis kept looking for him in the end zone over and over and over again, and he did add 1 touchdown against Patrick Peterson. So look for him to do that again this week. Jordan Matthews is going to be home against Pittsburgh. It's Carson Wentz's first start home. It's going to be fired up. They're going to be throwing a lot because they have to keep up with that Pittsburgh Steelers offense, and Carson Wentz loves throwing to Jordan Matthews. He almost had a touchdown last week. It went through his hands. I don't think that's going to happen again. I think that he scores this week, and I think that he has a great fantasy day. You're gonna hear this name a lot this week. Philip Dorsett. He's very, 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 very cheap on daily fantasy sites right now, and with the injury to Dante Moncrief, and one of the more underrated corners in the league, Jason Brett, is gonna be on. T.Y. Hilton are covering the slot receiver for most of the game, so expect Philip Dorsett to get a lot of targets in this game and put up the points worthy of that $6,000 a week price that he has on FanDuel right now. At tight end, I'm going with Eric Ebron. Green Bay's giving up the 3rd most points to tight ends, and I think that's going to be, again, they're going to be throwing a lot to try to keep up, and I think that he has a good game this week. And if you want to go for a cheaper option, another name you're probably hearing a lot this week is Dennis Pitta of Baltimore. Joe Flacco loves him. They're going against Jacksonville. Expect him to get a lot of targets this game. And for a cheap kicker and cheap defense option, I like Dan Bailey at home on Sunday night, and I like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense against LA. Hopefully Todd Gurley doesn't choose this week to turn it on, but with that, thank you for coming back to the YouTube channel, or welcome to our new viewers. We're gonna do this every week, our weekly 50-50 video, and tune into the podcast this week. We did a bunch of game picks, so keep a lookout for that. And thanks for checking out Nik Nak Podcast.